All right, all right, all right. We in here, y'all. We in here. Just trying to get things going. All right. May have been a few seconds, maybe a few seconds late on you. Hope not. I'm gonna give everybody enough time to get in here because you didn't see me, and you usually see me. Usually when that clock is down to zero and it's time for the show to go live. Usually I'm in here a little late this morning. And it's not morning for me, but it might be morning where you are. I've got people out in LA who are watching. People in different time zones. Right now it is 12 o'clock noon for me. Lunchtime, noontime. So I want to say happy Tuesday to everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to all my good people. I got a question for you. I'm gonna ask this. Can we win with Kamala Harris for President of the United States? Can we do that? Let's talk about Tuesday with Tori and Tanya. I'm MsTonya. And I'm asking that question because potentially as the first female president and first Black and South Asian president, Harris's candidacy could break unprecedented barriers. Her presence in this role could challenge longstanding norms and demonstrate that leadership is not confined by a particular race or gender. That's right. So, in this episode, Tori and I are going to dive deep into the biggest conversation happening right now in the world, Kamala Harris and her potential candidacy for president of the United States. So, join us in this discussion. We're going to talk about her strengths, the challenges, the impact that she can make on the future of America. I want you to get in here and share your thoughts in the comments. And let's keep the conversation going. It's TIO Tuesdays. This is episode 150. All right. We're going to be talking about politics. Hang in there for the ride. We've got more than a few months left. We've got a lot of work to do, but I definitely know that it's work that we can get done. So before we get too deep into the conversation, we're going to do some breath work. I always like to do a little breath work, and I think we're definitely going to need it. I know that I will. So come on, y'all. Don't cheat. Do this for yourself. Do this for you. Let's do it. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. And I want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Didn't that feel great? It feels real good. And I hope you feel good on this happy Tuesday. It's a happy Tuesday. It's something special about Tuesdays, not just because we're here together, but that is a very good reason. Tori is in here. I'm in here. And today I'm asking that question. I'm asking if we feel like Vice President Kamala Harris, if we can win. Can we win? Presidency of the United States of these Americas. A lot of people are coming in here and we've done our prep work. So I want to go ahead and get Tori on in here. Tori, how you feeling?
What's up?
Hey.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I do.
Okay, great. I'm here. I'm here. The question at hand is, can we win with her?
Can
I
we
think we
win?
can if people get out and vote. I think we can.
Mhm.
I really
Well, I
think we
mean,
can.
listen, it's been the conversation. It's
Mhm.
been the conversation since when? Sunday?
Yes.
Definitely an unexpected conversation because Imma tell you something, and I think you already know this. I have been very stressed out. I have been very stressed out because, as you know, I follow politics very closely. I always stay politically aware locally, nationally. I pay attention to what's going on really worldwide politics. Uh,
Mhm.
it's just, I'm that kind of nerd in a type of way. I'm an artist. I like young people. I like doing things in the community and staying abreast of what's going on in politics. That is very important for me. Um, but I wasn't expecting it. What about you? Can you hear me?
Kinda, sorta, but it caught me off guard. I was hoping that that would be the option, because I actually saw some clips of the debates, and I felt like that is what needed to happen, in my personal opinion. Some of the questions that were asked and the way that Biden responded, I felt like this needed to happen. I didn't think
Mhm.
it was gonna happen, but I felt like it needed to happen, and I was hoping it happened. So when it happened, I was like, "Okay, it did."
Yeah. Well, I
So
I tell
yeah.
you what. He will never recover from that debate. However, just what
Mhm.
he's been able to do for this country and do for us as a people, do for us as Black people. I feel pretty good about his presidency. I feel like he will definitely go down as one of our greater presidents, here in the United States. He's
Mhm.
done so much, an
Yeah.
incredible, amount that he's people don't know. I don't know why they aren't paying attention. They're believing some of the other hype. They're paying attention to some of the
Mhm.
hype that the news media is pumping out. The news media, you see whose side they're on. Right? And this thing has become largely about money, so, Trump keeps them that news cycle going, and they need those viewerships. They need those eyes, and that's where they're going with the story, but, I'm just very grateful for what he's been able to do. Uh, I'm grateful that he actually chose Vice President Kamala Harris as his running mate and has given her this opportunity. She has a great political career on her own, and so I felt like that was a very good decision. And for me, to be honest, she was very much the reason why I was going to vote for him if he was at the top of the ticket anyway, because I felt very secure in knowing that I felt that she was very qualified to step up if it was necessary for her to step up. So for me, it was a surprise, but I largely before now, I didn't feel like it was necessary because I was she was on the ticket. She was why I was voting, you know? That's how I feel about it. I feel like there might be a little delay or something because I'm not hearing you. Did you freeze out or something on me?
Listen, my internet is interneting, if you guys can hear me. It's really interneting. Like, it's like, you know how y'all remember the Chinese movies back in the day where their mouth is moving and
Mhm,
they talking and their mouth still moving. That's when I was looking at you, it's
mhm.
like your words was ahead of your mouth moving. So yeah, there's a delay. I don't know what my internet got going on today, but I can hear you. It's just their delay. Your your
Ah.
your words is ahead of your emotion. So that's why I paused.
Well, don't pause.
Okay.
Just respond. Don't worry about it because certainly, if there is an issue, there isn't anything that you're gonna be able to do on that side. But just tell
Yeah.
me what's going on. But go ahead and let's get through it. I see we got some people in here already ready to have the conversation. I see Fanika in here. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Fanika.
Mhm.
And Brother Fateen, good afternoon, sisters. Yes, very important conversation. What's up, Brother Fateen? And Will, greetings, ladies, at your service media. What's
Mm.
going on? And then Will also says, yes, we can win with her. People have to get out and vote for us to get the win. Absolutely.
I
That's
agree.
the thing, getting out the vote. Don't stay at
Mhm.
home.
Right, right, right.
And Q, yes, loud and clear. And I was asking, can y'all hear me? Hear me?
Okay, great. I see we got
Mm.
Io in the house. What is Io saying in here? What's going on with Io?
Io says, not ready for the woman. Sorry, sis. Io,
You're
why not?
Why aren't you ready? Because clearly you see that lots of people are. You don't raise like $100 million in that amount of time if people are not ready.
Mhm.
There's one thing when people are rooting for you and they say, "Yeah, you can do it." They're cheering you on. But when they put their money behind it, that's a
Mhm.
totally different thing. And we're not talking about a small amount of money. We're talking about a
Mhm.
large amount of money in a small amount of time. So I don't
Right.
know why you're not ready, but I certainly hope you will go ahead and get ready. Hope you register to vote. Got a whole lot of people around you who are ready and ready to vote and register to vote. We got to
Mhm.
get out here and make sure that everyone around us are ready. Get ready, sis. Get ready. Get ready.
Right. And then Will says voting is the key. Absolutely.
I agree with you.
And
We all know that,
Q says, I want her to win. In my honest, IMO is what?
in my
You know,
opinion.
I'm slow. Okay, in my opinion, she's capable of being one of the greatest, but as with many things in America, white men will be what keeps her from winning. I agree, Q. I agree. I agree.
Well, I tell you what,
I agree.
it's outrageous. We know what we're facing. We all know that. The only thing
Mhm.
that I feel like at this point is my intention is to put all of my good energy in a positive way there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do everything that I positively can to make sure that, like, I'm a part of making that happen. But I'm not gonna let y'all get me down.
And Craig, what's up, Craig? He said, hey, y'all. Unfortunately, the biggest challenge is going to come uninformed black men.
Well, listen, brother, as an informed black man, you got to talk to your brothers. We've got some time. We've got time to inform people. You've got to share this information. You've got to use all of the tools that you have at hand. We've got this
Mhm.
thing called the internet. Use that. You've got this thing called your mouth. Use that. Wherever you are, wherever you go out, have the conversation. That's why we are doing what we're doing here. And Tori, you know, we had no idea that we would be here where we are right now. But we did have I said, you know what? I'm not going to be able to not talk about politics in some capacity on these Tuesdays because we've got to. This is like a very, very important presidential election and race. It may be the most important in our lifetimes for a lot of us, to be honest. So how
Yeah,
can we not talk about that? I mean, I don't mind talking about other things, and we certainly will be talking about other things. But how can we not talk about this?
right.
So we got to share that information. We can't say that people are uninformed. Well, get them informed. Like for me, yeah, I know that lots of people who are my very close and personal friends, are they informed? Yes. That's my peer group. But we've stepped out of just us. We're out here and we're being a part of events and we're planning and we're organizing events and being a part of events that are organized. And speaking of which, let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about. Let me pull it up. 44,000 Black women. Okay, we're on a Zoom call in support of Vice President Kamala Harris. So listen,
Mhm.
44,000 women. And the group who organized it is Win with Black Women. Okay. And let me tell you something. I happened to be one of the 44,000, and it was amazing. And they took me out of a funk that I was really in. That even that particular day, Sunday, I decided to take a long drive because there was just so much on my mind as I was watching the political landscape. I'm like, geez, man, I almost feel like hopeless. Like, why don't I have some hope? And even though I knew where I would cast my ballot, like I told you earlier, I felt like if the vice president had to step up, she would step up. So that gave me, my decision. I knew where I would vote, but I still just the way the media is portraying everything and just a conversation of people, I just wasn't feeling good about what was going on. I'm like, I'm just gonna take a drive. Took a nice little drive, went outside of my city into another city just so that I could have that time, see some trees, see some nature, and just feel what I needed to feel. By the time I got back home and the news started, coming to me, my phone started pinging and I realized what was going on, I was like, "Oh my goodness, it has happened." Because it looked like they were trying to push him out. But my thought was, "Okay, they're gonna push this guy out. Are they trying to push out the vice president as well? Is that what they're trying to do? Because if that is what they're trying to do, now I'm really unhappy." And I wasn't for that. So I was feeling that a lot, Tori. I really was. But back to talking about winning with women, winning with black women. On that phone call, on that Zoom call, like I said, 44,000 women. It started out with 1,000. It was hard to get on. I couldn't get in. I didn't get in the first 1,000. They expanded it a little bit, got to 3,000. I'm trying to get in, couldn't get in. I'm like, "Oh my goodness." But I wasn't giving up. I kept trying. But they were able to get it open up through Zoom. Uh, talk to one of the COO at Zoom and got it open. Well, they got it open, and we were able to be a part of something that basically is historic, raised over 100, I'm sorry, $1.5 million. And make sure you seeing that. That's why I left that up there right there. You see that? 44,000 women on a Zoom call, okay? Raised over $105 million. Let me tell you something. It was we could barely get off the call. So many incredible women, in this a part of this conversation, a part of this organization, a part of prepping and you know, getting organized, letting us know what we can do, what we should do, how we can do it, making networking with people from other places and within your community, even and within districts that are close or nearby you. I've never been a part of
Mhm.
something that just happened so quickly. And I can't say it happened so quickly because this organization has they this is something that they have been doing for over 4 years, so we have to give them their props. But they weren't expecting, and I necessarily wasn't expecting it to exceed what it had. When I started getting the invite from certain people, I was like, "Hmm, okay," and I gotten it from more than one place, and that just every woman who is politically aware or a part of organizations, who are part of mobilizing their community, who are in business or holding offices, just sharing that with each other and just seeing how quickly that was able to happen. It just far exceeded everyone expectations. So and that was just the beginning. Definitely didn't stop there, won't stop there. We've got work to do and we can do this. So I hope everybody is gonna be is gonna feel good about that. We got some more people in got some more comments.
Yeah, I was looking at for Brother Fatim. Will says it definitely needed to happen. Biden needs to be able to enjoy the rest of his years on earth. I agree.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
agree.
mhm.
And then Will says, I'm with you, Tanya.
All right. Thank you, brother. With us and a whole lot of sisters and a whole lot of people out here who just want to see something different. You know, uh, we've got a candidate who is not good for all of us. For the people who feel like that's who they align with, I'm not going to tell you how you should
Mhm.
choose your candidate. I won't tell you that. There's something that drew you there. So obviously you have something in common. But I know that I don't have much in common there. And they don't have anything good for me.
All right. Brother 14 says, yes, we can win with VP Harris. We can win. In the last couple of days, we have seen the donors come back, a more energized Democratic Party broke a fundraising record with the assistance of over 40 million Black women Zoom call on Sunday night and 20 million Black men last night shows that now we can deal with the issues and policies that Harris wants to put in place as the next president of the United States.
Okay. I hear him and I agree. I just need to make a correction here. It's not 40 million. That was 44,000. There's a big difference between thousand and million and over 20,000 Black men. However, you know, uh, we were successful in raising over $1 million. So that was very, very key. And that's just the beginning. So from you just think about, you know, a group of women who have been having this call for over 4 years, never imagining that they might even have 1,000 women on this Zoom call because they hadn't before. Okay?
Mhm.
They hadn't before. So you're talking about this is women. Let me get my phone here. So boom, I get my call. Boom, 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 boom. This is what women are doing all day Sunday. From woman to woman to woman to woman to woman to woman until it got into the thousands of thousands. It far exceeded anything that they thought would happen. And I'm certainly happy about that because it happened in a record amount of time. And also, uh, within the call, the fundraising didn't happen until almost halfway through the call. So just within a few hours, small donors to large donors, that thing was happening. Everybody's making their donations, putting the link out, sharing it within their spaces, texting it to whoever they needed to do. We were in our group chats because everybody has group chats on their phone. And that's how we did it. That's how we were able to do it, you know? We were able to do that, without even having to because it was private in a lot of ways. A lot of people wonder like, "Well, how didn't I hear about it? How did" Well, you can look them up now. Let me put up a banner here so that people will know how to find them. If you're interested in finding out a little bit more about Win with Black Women, look them up. Win with Black Women. This is very simple. They're on all of the platforms. Get involved. You can play a role, but my point is just being able to do that within your own family and girlfriend group chats to get that word out like that. That's how we were able to do it. So we can do it. We could do that. All right. Let's get back into the comments because the conversation is definitely about you all. We want you to be able to be a part of this conversation. Where are we at, Tori? Let's see. Here we go.
1208. Oh, her being VP is why he got elected 4 years ago.
For me, I certainly will say that for me, I felt like they made it. Obviously, they made a good ticket because they were able to defeat him. And I felt like they were going to be able to defeat him again, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. And Will says you may have to fix your latency on the stream. That was he was talking to me. My internet. Will, I don't even know what that.
Which
I don't even
one?
know what that means.
Is it me? I know what he's saying. Will, is it me? Put in the comments because I'll have to figure it out because I am doing something a little bit different. And if that is the case, then I'll know how to go about that and I'll change it next time.
Okay. Because I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Hey, Kimberly, she said, morning, ladies. I was in the kitchen. I'm a few minutes late, but dear God, I'm here. You here, girl? You here?
All right. Because that could be, it could be me.
And Ayo says she's ready. And she said, money talks.
Absolutely. See how you have to inform people and you got to have the conversation because just a few comments ago, she didn't think so. So
Yeah.
you gotta hear the facts. You gotta know the facts. You
Mhm.
uh can't pay attention to what the news might be saying. Let me know, Cash. Um, we can't. It's a shame, but we can't even trust the news anymore. That's the sad part.
Not at all.
They suck.
That's why I don't watch it much.
They suck.
I don't watch
Imagine that. They're just complete garbage at this point. Give me a timestamp, Tori.
12:11.
Okay.
And Q says, as cliche as this may be, I feel confident in her chances since the Simpsons clip is being shared.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
after service media Will says they could be ready to make sure Trump doesn't get back in office.
That is so dangerous. That's a dangerous guy. He's telling you right in your face that he wants to be a dictator. Day one. Day one. He's telling
Mm,
you all of the stuff out loud. If you haven't and you're unaware of anything, some of the points from Project 2025,
mhm,
you're going to start getting some of that. And it's already out there. So you should be looking it up and you should be paying attention. I don't expect a whole lot of people to read 900 pages. I haven't. I've read some of the breakdowns. There are people out there who are doing that for you. And Trump is trying to back away from it. And we know him to be a liar. So if he's trying to back away from it, trust me, that means he is associated with it.
mm. And Will says, honestly, I don't like her. I've met her before and she wasn't the most pleasant person to meet. However, she does have my vote.
Well, you understand? I can't tell you, brother. I can't tell you.
And Brother Fatine says, glad you corrected him. 44,000 women and 20,000 men last night. I miswrote 40 million, 20 million. Sorry for that error. It's all
Mhm.
good. And Cynthia says, hey ladies, what's up, Cynthia? How you doing, girl?
Right, all right.
And Craig says, sisters, have you ever tried talking to a misinformed and closed-minded black man? I will continue to create dialogue and engagement, but the issue comes down to black men supporting and protecting black women. Craig,
Yes.
literally, that comment right there speaks volumes because I literally tried to do that this weekend. And when you're trying to talk to a misinformed black and closed-minded black man, it is hard. It is frustrating. It make me want to throw my phone. Oh God, I feel you, Craig. Listen, that comment was a trigger because I went through that this weekend. Oh, but yeah, you're right. Let me calm down because my blood was starting to ball. Lord have mercy. But that is so true. Erica says, hey, y'all. Hey, Eric. Hey, E, what's going on? What's
Hey,
going
lady.
on?
How you feeling? How you feeling?
and and I was looking at the next comment with Tony.
Did I skip one?
You on E's comment still looking for Tony. Tony's the next comment.
I had clicked it already, so maybe there is a delay.
Oh, it is? Because I'm still seeing Erica's comment. Huh.
Well, just read it then. How about that?
Okay. Tony says you already know. Because Tony is also representing Kamala is it that pink and green. So like when they were running, it was a lot of Chuck Taylors and Pearls.
Mhm. All right. I think we have lost a girl. We lost her. So let me just say to you, we'll just wait for her to come back in here. We are talking about whether or not we feel, uh, I see you back. I see you back.
It's my internet.
Okay. I see you back. Well, I was just letting the people know we'll just do a little refresher. We're just saying, we're asking the question, and I
Mhm.
mean, I feel like it's a good question to ask. Can we win with her? We're talking about Vice President Kamala Harris and her run for president of the United States of America right here in 2024.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
y'all ready. If you ain't ready, you need to get ready. Where you at? Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you be ready? Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you were talking about, Craig was talking about, have you ever tried oops, I'm sorry. He was talking about
12,
how
18
diff
time mark.
yeah, how difficult it is to talk to misinformed brothers. It's a challenge, but we are still Black women still, and we have been dealing with misinformed Black men for a long time with various subjects. So this particular one
Mm.
is challenging, yes, but new for us, no. And I don't want to make it seem like we know everything. This isn't about to be a women versus men type of thing, because there are men out here who are informed. You just like Roland Martin Unfiltered. I watch him quite a bit. He was a part of the, men who were on, when was it, last night? A part of raising, their voices. He Bakari Sellers, there's just a lot of information out here if you are willing to do that little bit of work,
Mhm.
but just because they are hard to get through to doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to try. I certainly am. I'm not gonna beat myself up. I'm not gonna beat them over the head with any particular information, but I am gonna have the conversation. I understand. I know when a person has had enough. So I understand the art of conversation, but I'm certainly gonna have it. I don't
Right.
understand how we can see and be in community of people and not talk about this right now. This is very important. Small talk is small talk, but this is gonna impact our lives in some very serious ways, so I'm gonna have the conversation, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh, let's get on in here. I think Craig is still he got something else in here. What he got going
Yeah.
on?
Craig says, I swear I'm not trying to be the one, but I will be the one to point out 44,000 women versus the 20,000 men. The numbers tell the story. Black men have to step it up to secure the win. Harris 24. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Right. I don't disagree with you.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that just goes to prove that Black women have always been the backbone of this political party. We've always kind of carried it on our back. So, you know, that's not new for us. We just got to continue. I feel like young people are a very important part of this uh, situation as well. We saw young
Absolutely.
people, out here doing protests and trying to use their voice politically speaking in various ways. So young people
Mhm.
want to be engaged within the system, within the political system. And we've got to find a way and we've got to find candidates that they are going to be able to stand behind. So I feel like that's very important because they've got numbers. The thing about
Mhm.
it is the older people who are within my age demographic, and like I said, within my peer group, I would be inclined to say that I don't even have to have the conversation. Like our conversations are very different. It's not about me trying to influence them to vote. It is about us doing things and putting ourselves in situation and organizing certain events where we can educate and motivate other people. But I
Right.
will say that young people, I'm seeing them, they're feeling quite motivated by, you know, the vice president being running the ticket now. I'm
Mhm.
seeing it, and it's not even just about Black people. This is about people, you know? It really
Absolutely.
is.
We're at Kimberly's comment at 12:25. Oh Lord, the comments are coming in. We got to catch up.
Okay.
Kimberly at 12:25. I just wanted to say, let's keep our emotions in check around this whole election. Emotions have been the way they control us, and sometimes the reason we lose control. Absolutely,
Mhm.
that's true. And then Q says, and it's so crazy how folk pretend they like they don't hear it. It's insane. And Joseph says Vice President Kamala has just brought in the necessary energy into the 2024 election in a way that Obama brought energy to the 2008 election. Go Kamala.
I feel that too, Joseph. I really, really do. Like I was saying earlier, I felt a little, I just had anxiety. I didn't even know I
Mhm.
had anxiety until this election cycle. It has really been stressing me out because I could see this whole thing. I saw the whole push against Biden, and I just wasn't sure if that push was just to get rid of the whole ticket, which was really getting ready to take me into another train of thought. But I'm just so happy that we're not there. I'm so happy that we're here. So I agree with you, man. I feel an energy that I hadn't felt in a long, long time, and I hadn't felt it since Obama. To be honest, people were really fired up behind him, and I kind of sensed that this time. People weren't even fired up the first time when she ran, but this is different now.
Right. And Kimberly says this has everyone in their feelings, but we got to get out of our feelings and make a decision. You ladies have finally gotten me in a better headspace about voting. Then came this shift. Woo, that's good to hear. But there will always be shifts and twists and turns. Again, we got to take the emotion out of it. That is so good to hear, Kimberly.
Mhm.
That is
I
awesome to hear.
Yes, I really am happy to hear because I tell everybody, and I'm telling you this too, Kimberly, get 5 other people with you. Everybody get 5, 6, get how many you can. I'm going for
Mhm.
thousands. I'm telling you
Right.
right now, I'm going for thousands. I'm going for a big number, okay?
Right.
And but just to hear that one person who can already tell us this story when we already knew that it wouldn't be popular to talk about politics, we're a
Right.
small podcast. But I know that we have a voice and we have conversations with a small group of people. And big thing for me is if you take it off of here. I know there's people who are listening who are not commenting because sometimes our numbers get big. The, as weird as the internet can be, it depends on the subject matter. But we can go from 5,000 to almost 10. We have a podcast that we were talking about Jasmine Crockett, and that particular episode, it was a few months ago. I can't remember the date right now, but it got almost 10,000 views right now. And then by the same token, we could be talking about something else and we might get 20 views. And that's how it is when you are a small podcast. But I
Mhm.
still don't take for granted that if we can reach one person, I feel like that's important. I wouldn't really
Absolutely.
want to have this voice if I couldn't use it in a way that I feel is constructive. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily telling you guys who to vote for, but I felt like you needed to be interested in finding out the information. You needed to be interested in finding out what could be happening to you if you don't make a correct decision, you know?
Absolutely. Erica says the way those 900 pages are written, if you don't have a legal background, it would not be understandable. I have it and have been going through it, but I have read the cliff notes from others.
Well, I tell you what, you're absolutely right. That's why I feel like it's also important to it has been broken down. So go find out, go to sites and people that you can trust. Like I
Mhm.
said, Roland Martin is a good person that you can go to who he's talking about it. I will also tell you that I will be having people on who will be discussing it within the next few months. I'm getting people in here who can do better than I can. Like I have a certain energy, I have a certain passion. Yeah, I do. And I have a certain understanding, but I'm going to bring people in who will break it down for you so you can find out more, and you make sure that you share it whenever you get some good information. And please do this. Let me say this. Y'all share good information. Share factual information. Don't just share something because you think that it might be true. It has to be facts. We cannot afford to be spreading misinformation. It's so easy to fact check stuff now. You guys use AI to change up your pictures to make you look younger and make you look like, I don't know, something or someone else. Use AI to do some fact checking. Look that information up. Use AI to find out a little bit about Project 2025.
Mhm.
It's not gonna magically just you don't just open up, AI or Chat GPT and, it's reading your mind. No. But the same way what Facebook asks you, "What's on your mind?" and you type in your post or type in whatever it is you wanna say, you do the same thing with Chat GPT. Give it a command. Use it as your assistant. So if there's something you wanna know, let it break it down for you. Do that. It's really, really easy. Use that technology, all right?
Absolutely. One, I don't
Oh,
know
I
what.
don't know it. Well, sorry.
And Q says, I think it speaks volumes for anyone that will admit to voting for 45. There should be no way this should be a discussion. It's either you're for 45 or you're not. It's just that simple. Having to discuss anything else would leave me leaving the conversation because I don't have the capacity to get folks on board with what should be their obvious choice. Absolutely. I agree.
Respect. Well, I tell you what, I feel a certain kind of way. And the reason why I say I don't like to tell people who to vote for, because people are in different spaces and places in their life. They really are. They are voting what is close to whatever their mindset and their lifestyle is. They really are. And if that is racist and that is what you relate to, that's what you relate to. I can't
Mhm.
tell you differently. But I will say this. I know people who have voted the other way. I do. I am still able to have conversations with them. I have been able to. And luckily for them, I did vote in a way that just wasn't selfishly for myself. And a lot of the benefits that we are seeing now, as it relates to student loans, as it relates to the economy, as it relates to employment, they're benefiting from me voting the way that I did, opposed to them voting the way that they did. Now, I don't bring that back up in their face because that wasn't the that's not a good reason for me. We don't have to be in an argument about that. That's where they are, that's where their mindset was. It is. But I feel like enough of us have to make a decision to vote and to counter those votes of people who are not thinking outside of themselves or not thinking outside of certain personal, religious, or racial beliefs. There's some people who just really have some hardcore beliefs that you can't take away from them. I'm not going to be in arguments with anyone.
Mhm.
It's up to them.
Absolutely. And Philly Eagles fan said it doesn't matter who the Dems put up. Trump got this in the bag. The polls have not moved. This is all about 2028.
I hear
Okay.
you. I hear you, Philly Eagles fan. And you're a perfect example for what I just said. It's not up for me to decide what's best for you. I can't do that. I won't do that. And I also don't believe the polls because it's a poll. Who are they polling? Who are these people? Who are these mass pollers?
And
We're gonna see on the other side of this. Let's talk about it after November.
Reggie says, "Dang, I got here late." LOL. Is there really a phenomenon of black males who are not supporting Harris, or is it media propaganda or other people's thoughts presented as our own to divide us? I'm thinking the latter. I'm thinking the latter as well.
You know what, Reggie? Every time you get in Every time Reggie is engaged in conversations that we're in, he really brings some thought-provoking type of comments and just such a small amount of characters. Thank you, brother. Let me say this. I agree with you.
Hmm.
That is a part of the propaganda. If they continue to say that and continue to make you believe that, if you're gonna believe that and you keep pushing that narrative, you putting out that bad energy. No, I don't believe it because I happen to know a good number of men who are very politically involved, yourself included. Some of the men who are in here right now, like Craig Boatwright, a whole lot of men. I know it.
That's just he. I think he
Oh,
did it
sorry.
twice, and then Nero, the one 1237 behind that. Nero's 313 says Kamala hasn't done anything to deserve to be president. Name one law or policy she has made.
Oh yeah, she's done a whole lot. In fact, matter of fact, since you want me to do that, let me just pull up. Let me pull up on you. How about that? How about that? Besides the fact that she is the vice president, hold on. Uh need to let me let me get this comment right here. Well, you know, her career didn't just start at the vice presidency. Let's just talk about her early career, where she served as the deputy district attorney in Alameda County in California in the 1990. Okay. Let's talk about her being San Francisco district attorney. She was elected in 2003. 2003. Okay, she launched a lot of incentives, reduced truancy. You don't have to agree with everything that she has done, the same way that we don't agree with every politician. Let's talk about her being California's attorney general, elected in uh, two, 2010, reelected in 2014. The first woman, first African American, first South Asian to hold that office in California. Okay, she's been an advocate of criminal justice reform. She established the first Bureau of Children's Justice. Let's talk about her being a U.S. Senator. So, the same way that I was telling people that there's information that you could look up, like you took the time to ask, like, what she's done, when you could have put that in AI, you could have put that in Chat GPT and it would have gave it to you. You could have put that in Google and you could have found that out without me having to go on here and put it in there and read it out to you. It's very easy. But when we have people who are not necessarily being sincere, who want to push a certain narrative, this happens. But she's done a lot. And the thing for us is that she has an opportunity to do more. And not just for me, and not just for people who look like me, for people who look like her, for people who look like her husband, who might look like you too.
Erica says, I'm a lover of the law and have many degrees in the field, so I try to share what I find and understand with everyone I know. Thank you so much for that, E.
We need you out here, and we need you to be engaged in conversations like this. We need you sometimes, if you will be open to come on camera to get in the conversation outside of just being in the chat. That's why we're going to move this into the evening time, where a lot more people will be at home, where I can have a time frame where a lot more people will be available for the conversation. So we're going to do this 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, starting August 6th. So we're still going to be talking it out on Tuesdays, but we're going to talk it out on Tuesday evenings. So that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that will make it, what would that make it for Kimberly over there on the West Coast? That'll make about what? 4 o'clock. 4
I think
o'clock for my California folk.
I think so. And Cynthia says the polls have lied before. Yes, they have.
They do all the time. You can't always believe the polls. You can't.
Yeah,
You can't always
yeah.
believe those polls. Who are they polling? And have you ever been polled? Did they ask you? I've
Yeah.
never been polled. Tell them to come ask me and people I know.
Robin J say, I hear people saying that they won't vote for her because she's married to a white man. Your thoughts?
Well,
What does that have anything? My thoughts, it doesn't have anything to do with me.
listen.
I don't even care about that.
That is
You love who you love. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I care about who gonna get the job done.
that is an issue
Yeah,
that is so petty, right?
very petty.
That is so petty. That is a part of the division. And also, but if people want to, if there's a black person or a person of color who would make a
Mhm.
statement like that, then have fun with that.
Right. Absolutely. And he says, I believe that when 45 became president, he literally held a mirror up to the United States and people's true essence was revealed. I just want some real change to take place and the government to really reflect the heart of the people. I agree. And
Here come a question for you.
Q says, what did Trump do before he became 45? Ooh. What did he do? What'd he do?
What did he do during and after?
What's he doing now?
Let that
Okay.
Lord have mercy. But it's okay.
Yeah. Is that where? Vice President. I don't understand that first part, but Vice President Kamala Harris, okay. And Kimberly says 4 p.m. it will be, and I'll be right up in here. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. All right. If not, people who can't make it, you're gonna have to hit that replay because we gonna have a whole lot of love and a whole lot of conversation for you.
And Cynthia says they ain't never asked me anything. She's talking about them polls.
Thank you. And I want to ask you this. Do you know anyone who's been polled? I want anybody, if you've ever Get in these comments right now because I really want to know this. Y'all get in the comments. If you know, or if you have been one of the person who have been polled, I want you to put a 1 or a thumbs up in the comment. If you have never been polled or you don't know anybody who's been polled, put a 2 in the comments. If you've been polled, put a 1 up. If you've never been polled and never heard or know anybody who's been polled, put a 2 in the comments. I want to know. I want to see something. Who are these mass polled people?
And Q says, who's going to get the best job done should be the only concern. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then
2. 2.
2. And Robert J said, I do not know not one person who has been polled.
That'll be a 2.
What's up, Shay? Good afternoon, beautiful souls. How you doing? How you doing? 2. 2.
Where the ones at?
In my
Where the
2.
ones?
In my 2.
2. Who are these people they're polling? Listen, people, we've got to make some decisions. Like I really like when the person asked like what Vice President Kamala Harris has done, and it's been so much, and it's just so easy to find. But when you don't want to believe the truth, you can ignore the truth, and that's what that's largely what we see happening with a lot of people. They want to deny the truth because we watch 45 tell so many lies that people have readily accept for truth. So it's just what do you find to be true?
Right.
What do you find to be true? But I tell you what, you better go for some facts. So whether you want to feel like what I am saying is true, I've given you some facts, and I don't even want you to believe me. I want you to look it up. Look it up. Some of the things that I know that she will, well, I can't say that I know that she will because I don't know her, but some of the things slated, that she's done and that she's championed: criminal justice reform, healthcare, climate change, women's right and gender equality, voting rights, very, very important, immigration reform, education, gun control, technology and innovation, women's right to their own body. Okay?
Yeah.
Women's rights to our own bodies. And I find it very interesting. Tell me what you think about this, Tori, and you guys get in here. I see a 1.
Yeah, I saw it. I was gonna tell you. At your service, 1. Had to block them jokers. He get polled every week. Wow, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Wow, and look at and IO says poll. Who gets polled? And then look at E comment right before he said the ones work for the news station.
Let me tell you something. I've worked in news media, and I was never polled even when I was working at the stations. But listen, Tori, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
You know what?
You asked the wrong one. The way my short-term memory set up, you asked the wrong person. I forgot what you was gonna say.
I think I just had a Biden moment. That was a bad joke.
I ain't laughing. I ain't laughing. Try not to laugh. Really?
Because we love him.
IO says LOL. I don't know what. Yeah, what were you about to say?
I don't know.
'Cause
But you know what? To bring that up, it happens. You don't even have to be in your 80s to lose a train of thought, because I lost it only because we so quickly went to a comment that came up and I just kind of went to that and boom. And that's just how it happens,
And Q said you was about to ask us something. What she was about to ask though, Q? What was she gonna ask though?
Now that's the question. I don't even know. My grandma used to say this thing. She said, if it was important enough, it'll come back to you. So we just gonna have to carry on because listen, I don't know. But I will say this. Can Kamala Harris has won enough support to clinch the Democratic nomination, so I'm really looking forward to that,
Mhm.
so that's come up in the news. That's something that I feel like we can cheer for. Very, very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Um,
And Will
definitely.
had answered your question, and Reggie says this guy in the shop asked, "Is there a third option?"
There is. There
Is
is.
there?
There are third options. There are independents out here, but to me, clearly there's 2. Well, there's 3. A lot of people I feel like people who choose that option of staying at home and sitting on the couch,
Mhm.
that's an option. It's a horrible option,
Yeah.
I tell you that.
And then Q says, "Hopefully it'll come back by 7."
Oh my god. Well, I tell you what, if it does, I'll write it down the next time. I'll write it down because I got pens and everything here on my desk. You know, but y'all have me. Oh, we saw that already.
And then Q says, "Yes, I can't wait for them to announce her as the nomination."
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Me too. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see it.
And at your service, Will says most of the people who get polled are elderly and have go home phones. The type of phones you got to have a certain type of phone to get polled.
Oh, the landlines. Okay.
Oh, I got a landline phone. I ain't gotten polled. Reggie says that a no option. Go Harris.
Oh my goodness, outrageous, outrageous, outrageous.
And I
Mhm.
was gonna say to Will, and I saw Will comment earlier. He says, "Is my internet?" He said, "Tori got AOL." No, I don't, Will. I ain't got no AOL.
Tori got LOL.
But I do agree this is my internet. My internet is tripping today. And Erica says, "I have a landline phone and still getting polled. Still didn't get polled. I didn't either. I have a landline as well. I didn't get
Listen,
polled."
but the point of this is that listen, we not believe in no polls, regardless of
Yeah.
what the polls say. Even with the polls being, if the polls were going the other way, there's going to
Mhm.
be some give and take. That's still not going to stop me from doing the job that I know that we have to do. We got to get out here and we've got to make sure that we are talking to people face to face. People need
Mhm.
to be coming to your door. You know, you need
Mhm.
to be a part of that team. Be a part of that volunteer team.
Right.
Be a part of
Right.
that. Be a part of something great because it's worth it.
Absolutely.
You gotta think
I totally
about
agree.
not just yourself, you gotta think about the future. Even if you don't have kids, think
Mhm.
about your neighbor's kids, your friends' kids, your kids' kids. This is big, guys. There's so much, on the line here. The opportunity to continue to stack the Supreme Court. We don't even have what kind of gangster Supreme Court do we have right now? Think about that. Look at all of the changes that they are recklessly making. Look at how they are recklessly interpreting the Constitution. And they're supposed to be educated, well educated on it. But it's become partisan.
Mhm.
And they should not be partisan. So we've got to do some different things. We absolutely have to.
Right.
Uh, I know I've got a quote here for today.
Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Let's read that again. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. And that's Ruth
Yeah.
Bader Ginsburg. Is that Ginsburg?
Yes, that's RBG speaking of the Supreme
Mm.
Court. And that's why I felt like that fit in right now. What would she be thinking
Yeah.
right now? What would she be thinking?
Man,
Wow.
listen.
Okay.
And Q says, Cash, don't do tour. I still have AOL.
Now, Q, I was not expecting for you to say that. Come,
And listen to
join us.
AOL email that is.
I was about to say, listen, I don't need nobody to be really having dial up.
Right.
Remember we used to put up with that junk?
Yes. Yes, it was horrible. And Q says, "Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people that won't admit to voting for Sarah or Kamala, but they will. I expect to be just as shocked as I was when Biden beat 45."
Let me say this.
Absolutely.
I think I know what I was about to say.
Okay.
I remember how, because we were talking about women's and women rights and,
Mhm.
I feel like somebody who is going to put some priority on knowing that we should have the rights to our bodies. And the question I was gonna ask is, how is it that women can support a party who gives them no respect, who is telling them what they should do with their bodies? They've got this new young whippersnapper VP candidate who actually had the nerve to say that women should stay in relationships that even they are dealing with abuse. I don't understand that. They want to, you know, play with divorce laws, you know, when they show you that they have no respect for you, when they want to tell you what you should do for your body. I don't understand a woman who could vote for that. I understand that your husband might feel a particular way. I understand you live within a family dynamic, but when you go to that poll, it is you in that ballot box. How do you decide that? How do you decide to vote for a man who has been convicted 34 felonies already, so many more indictments? You heard from his own mouth. He out here grabbing women by the pussy. He's a rapist. How do you as a woman make that decision? So that was the question I was gonna ask, like, what type of woman actually stands behind that? And when I saw Nikki Haley, I'm so glad we got Nikki Ha oh, I'm so glad I'm so happy she's not our governor anymore. I didn't like her as a governor, but that's personal. That's personal. She says all of these things about him and then goes right up there and endorse him. I don't understand how any woman endorses this. I don't, but that's you. Do your thing, boo. Do your thing, but I don't trust you. I don't trust him, and I don't trust you. That tells me a lot. If this man wins by the vote of women, and particularly one section of women, that tells me a whole lot. Like, we might think that there's a lot of races out here, but it makes me question, like, who's the most racist? Is it white women? Is it? I don't know. I think they'll just have to represent themselves that way because I cannot understand how you could put aside everything that stands for yourself as a woman just because you wouldn't want to vote for another party who is inclusive of other people who are outside of your religious or cultural beliefs. Like you would put all of that aside and say, you know what? I don't need autonomy of my body. You make the decisions for me. Like you put that over everything. That says a lot. I don't know what y'all think, but do you, boo? But we're not in the same club. I can see you. I might know, like I said, I know some people who will vote for Trump. I'm in conversation maybe with people who vote for Trump. I live in the South. I live in a red state. I see people who are Trump supporters all the time. I see MAGA hats. I see Trump t-shirts. I've been places where, believe it or not, people who I know are in that particular party and who will be voting that way. They tell me good morning. They smile. I've had them open doors for me. We've been in the same place at the same time. We haven't gotten in any arguments or disagreements. We just have different beliefs. And I don't even have a problem with somebody being prejudiced necessarily, but I just would appreciate if you just leave that at home. You don't get to be prejudiced and racist when you're out here working among people and serving people. I know people, again, who are Trump supporters and they've had my business. They've served me well. They've given me good business. We just don't have a whole lot of the same beliefs. But I also know that the way that I voted has benefit them. And I'll say this too, and it's not even necessarily about a party, because it's not about a party thing for me. I want you guys to be clear about that, because I have voted Republican before. I have. I don't know what you think about that, but I voted what I felt was best at the time for where I was in my lifetime, in my where I was, however you want to put that. So it's not even about a particular party. For me, it is about what this particular party is representing right now. And I got to be honest with you. I didn't vote Republican the way this MAGA Republican Party is right now. I didn't vote that way. I don't even see Republican anymore. Like, it's such a cult now. Like, to think that Republicans are in a cult and don't see it. Like, like, what's in the Kool-Aid y'all drinking? Like, how do you not see that? I don't want to see it. Because I don't want to be walking around. I don't want to believe what y'all believe. All right.
Right.
Let's see. Where give me a
101 timestamp with Q when you was talking about the no respect for women at all. It's mind blowing to me. A dear friend says she's voting the other way. I can't even talk to her. As a young Black woman, there should be no way you vote that way.
They don't know. They don't know any. Some people just don't know any better.
And Will says, I didn't like her as governor myself. I can't wait to get rid of McMaster.
Thank you for saying that. When we need some term limits on a whole lot of things. The Supreme Court. Listen, we need to visit that. But that has nothing to do necessarily with the president per se. But
And E
we just
says, how is he even able to vote, let alone run for president, when convicted felons lose the right to vote? And how did the Supreme Court think it was a good thing to give him immunity where he can now commit a crime and there is no consequences? I'm so confused.
And so, do you think putting him back in office is going to be a good idea? Do you think he's not going to abuse and misuse that? He already told you. He was going to do it anyway.
Yeah. And Q says they really need to take the parties away and you should be able to vote for the best nominee for whatever position in every election. I agree.
They need to take some of this money out of it. That's a huge problem.
And E says, heck no, he already doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And Will says this state can be blue if we get out and vote.
And guess what? We can start now. I don't ever give up. I don't ever think that we can't change it. I don't ever think we can't change it. I don't. Tori, what time is it?
It's 107, 108.
Why you got me on here talking this long? Why you got me talking so long?
Listen, because you're so passionate about politics. Hey, it is what it is,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's all good though. People, y'all get back to work now. Don't that girl that said you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to lose your job.
I do want to let the people know what's going on locally. We got a back to school party supply giveaway on Saturday, July 27th from 12 to 4 at Icon's Room in Florence, South Carolina. Make sure you get out there. That is going to be for the kiddos, okay? True Icons Motorcycle Club and MWAM will be out there. I'm going to be out there, so if you want to see me, come on out there. We're going to be doing some things, making sure the kids get back to school. So I want to make sure that you be a part of it too. Bring them on out there. Bring them on out. Tori, what you got going on this weekend?
I don't have anything going this weekend.
Yeah.
Not a thing. I may try to come there this coming Saturday.
Come on out there.
This will be the first. You realize it's the first year that I don't have to really attend to back to school.
Oh, you mean you realize
I try to make
that.
those, but
oh yeah, because your son just graduated. Mhm.
Yes.
Well, girl, I
But I
have
would love to be in the mix. Yeah,
yeah.
I would love to be in the mix,
We
so
we we we've gotta do this, and as it relates to education, that's why this is also very important. There's just, a whole lot we could talk about, and if I got into that right now, we'd be on here, an hour or more. So,
yeah, yeah,
until the next
yeah.
conversation, I gotta let
Mhm.
you know that you need to
Hit,
put
Will's last comment before we let yeah, Will says, "Convicted felons can vote as long as they are not in prison or on probation."
right.
Okay.
Once you have served your time. Uh, Thank you for saying that, Will, because there's the misconceptions out here. People who spread mis and bad information. We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful because you do have your right to vote. Um, but we're gonna continue this conversation. We're gonna talk about it all the way to November. We're gonna be talking about some foolishness and some things going on in between, back and forth, and some other serious issues that we should be talking about in between, back and forth. But we're not gonna talk about politics. If you don't like it, then that's just you, because it's a whole lot of other things that you can watch. But I appreciate everyone who's here and who did not find it robbery to tap in on this conversation with us.
And Robin J says, "Have a blessed day, ladies, and please, everyone, go read the 2025 project."
Oh yeah, read the
Yes,
highlights.
definitely. And Q
Read the
says, "I
highlights.
and, Q says, "I can't wait to talk about Sarah Kamala winning." Absolutely.
See, you know what? We gonna have to deal with these AKAs, but I tell you what, Imma take them AKAs over them KKKs any day. Yes, I am. Yes, I
Hello?
am. Mhm. Y'all
Hello?
can listen, y'all can paint the streets pink and green. I do whatever you need to do. All I know is I feel like she is worthy. I feel like she will do the best job. I know she to be the best candidate. I don't know what it is that you guys are looking for, but you need to do the right thing. Not just for you,
Absolutely.
but for the future. All right? All right, Imma let you put
Absolutely.
your little pink and green hearts up here, Q. Matter of fact, all of you in Divine Nine, you guys have incredibly, large numbers. You've got some great organizations, and, really what your organizations are about is that big community service piece. Okay, well, you've got a lot of community service that you can do between now and November, and I know you guys are gonna do it, and I know you guys can do it. Do it. Do it.
Mhm.
We see you out here with your colors and your Greek letters and your numbers. Ain't nobody mad at you. Bring this thing on in. 'Cause I know y'all can make an impact on this, and I wanna see you do it. I'm not in no organization, I'm straight me fi me, but I ain't mad at none of y'all. I got love for all of you, the AKAs, the Delta Sigma Thetas, the Zetas, the Sigmas, the Qs, the Kappas, Sigma Gamma Rho. If I missed you, it ain't because, blame my head and not my heart, you know? But you guys have some powerful organizations out here. We can even go to Jack and Jill. We can talk about Eastern Stars. You've got some incredible groups out here. We could talk about all of the different clubs and social clubs and motorcycle clubs. You've got organizations of people out here. So you could do some incredible things. Do it. Now is the time. You say you're about community service, and I don't doubt that you aren't. The community needs you right now. Do y'all thing. Do y'all thing. Because I'm going to do my part. I'm going to use my voice the best way that I can. All right. All right. I got to get out of here because I got some things to do and I'm a little bit hungry and my stomach's starting to growl and my mic is kind of good. So it might pick it up. So let us do what we got to do. Y'all get back to work. Tori, tell them people bye.
Bye, y'all. We'll be back at it next Tuesday. Enjoy the remainder of your afternoon and make sure y'all get back to work. Peace out, y'all.
Mhm, 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 mhm. That's it. That's all I got for y'all. Hey, I asked a question. I asked that question. I said, "Do you feel like she can do it? Do you feel like we could win with her?" We gonna have this conversation. We gonna keep having it all the way to November, all the way to the ballot box. I tell you what, she already got my vote, so I don't need to be convinced. All right, peace signs out to all of y'all. Much love to everybody. What we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe on out of here. If the conversation was a little heavy, it's okay. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But let's do some breath work and get back to work and all of the things that we're doing out here. One love, y'all. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. Right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.